Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 157? I didn't check. I'm trying a different recording camera location, so hopefully this works out decently. I put it higher up because I think that would have looked nicer, maybe. We'll see. It is Monday, November 14th, 2016, and I'm glad you could join me today. Blah. So, a little bit late. What was it? Turned out there was no time Sunday, and I didn't think of doing it Saturday morning when I did have time, so here we go. Fresh out of shower, lots of yoga, I'm full of the air now. So, pretty cool though. I did have a slight knitting disaster that I managed to fix between then, when I could have recorded, and now. So, and I think I haven't quite done all of my checks on this, but I'm pretty sure my Delancey is done. So, this is an Alexis Winslow pattern, and look at all of that ridiculous color. Isn't that crazy? I still have my Savior ball of yarn attached, and it is getting all sorts of tangled right now. So, this is the Delancey cardigan. There are ends and all sorts of nonsense, and probably some sort of collar tacking step, 'cause look at all this color. It's ridiculous. So, lots of color, but it will button up to here, so it's a little bit higher. I don't know if I'll need to go through and actually check the bind off, because I'm not sure whether or not it's appropriately loose, but but I was 3 rows in the bind off away from being done, and I ran out of my ball of yarn, so we'll do a little bit of up here. Ow. Somewhere this ball of yarn is getting in the way. So, ta-da! So we have this, and then we got this luscious, ridiculous collar here, and then 3/4 sleeves. So, I guess it's a good thing I didn't knit full sleeves, because I would have definitely run out of yarn then. It seemed like I had so much yarn when I started, so I don't know if it's just the case where this is a ridiculous amount of color or what, but definitely fun when you do the finishing on the sweater. You're like, ah, that's the way it's supposed to be. So, nice big funky collar done. That was a lot of knitting. I don't know if I was working on the collar when I talked to you guys last time, but that was a lot of knitting. So, quite a big thing there. So it was more than a knit night in order to get that, what is it, all that white in there. And then I ran out of yarn, but it was okay. Somewhere here might even be the end. So it turned out that when I made this skein, I had run out of one of the 3 plies, and since everything was still, since I was plying from, oh my goodness, here we go. And since I was plying from bobbins, I decided to make a mini skein of end ply. So I had yarn that I had combo spun, and then I had my singles, which were not so. So I had 2 sets of singles. What was it? I split the yarn into 2/3. 2/3 of the yarn turned into a single of Nebula. 2/3 turned into a single of Magpie, and then I held the remaining third of Nebula and Magpie together in a combo drafting method in order to create the third ply of my Cosmic Magpie yarn, which is different than how other people had done it, but this seemed to make sense for me. So, as a result, it was definitely different than the original yarn, because that one had bits of all two colorways in the combo included in it, but I think it ended up. So the bind off is a little bit brighter than the rest, but color changes are fairly normal in this sweater anyway, so I think it'll be fine. And it was definitely similar enough to it, because I think it was all Nebula for the other part, so that was fine. It ended up being good. So I'll need to go to the button store this week to really finish it, and the ends. Not that you can see many ends right now, because I was pretty good in the body, but there are ends all in the sleeves and what have you, so. But I think it turned out really cute, so. It'll be fun to get some buns on this and then call it done. What would it be? So, which side is the bun side? There we go. So, I really like how that ended up wrapping up, and this will be a fun sweater. And that collar is really, really, I might not be funky enough for that collar, I'm not sure. So, ta-da. Yay, done sweater. And what got most, that probably got most of my love this week, because I was exerting control on my knitting life, because it seems like everything else is dysfunctional right now. So, the other thing that got some love is my laminaria, which I'm doing out of this fiber optic bitter lime to rose gradient. So, I think I'm getting close to a color change, though it doesn't really look like it right now. I'm hopeful. It doesn't seem like the green is, there's too much more green left, but I could be off. And I am in the middle of a row, and it sort of fell off. Well, that makes life more challenging. Let's see if we can gather this up without too much heartache. Oh well. I'll have to do a little bit of surgery and figuring out when the world went wrong, but I've done as much as I can for the moment, so we'll call that close enough. But apparently I'm in the middle of a row. I think I was purling back to finish off my, let's see, so that one doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, so my 4th row of flowers, I was finishing it up. So it is coming along, and even though it's not entirely unfurled, it totally looks like it's on purpose, right? And I'll have to figure out at some later time how to recover from that drop stitch boo-boo, so, but not right now, not while I'm talking. So, it is coming along, even though maybe it doesn't look like it. I am very close to doing something different. And no, I haven't yet memorized the trick. I still reference at least the row to know what stitches go where. So, there's 4 different lace pattern rows and purl backs, so nothing too crazy. I did start something new. Oh, that's why. Oh, my phone is making my, something's making my bag heavy. I guess I'm assuming it's my phone. Let's see how I can get this out. So, a request had been made. So, my sister had requested a headband for my niece. So, I decided that it was a reasonable request, and I started it. She had a picture. It looks like it was ribbing, and there was a twist, and then there was some giant funky button sewn onto it. this one should be similar, and I ended up getting my niece's head measurement, so she has a 17-inch circumference around where a headband would go. So then it'd be the case where I'll probably just do a twist when I tie it, or when I sew it together, so it's sort of Mobius, and maybe put the giant funky button wherever that twist ends up going. We shall see. I had asked about the choking hazard aspect, and she did not seem to think it was a problem. Thought it was probably going to get chewed on, because that's apparently what my niece does right now. Chews. So, this one is pretty ridiculously mindless, and hopefully won't take too long. I started it, like, Saturday morning. So I'm making up the pattern. Someone was selling it on Etsy, and it's not like it's rocket science. And this is my Fire on the Mountain. Now, I didn't bring up the socks for comparison, but let's just say, what would it be? They were, technically speaking, the first pair of socks to dye, but I keep wearing them despite their death because they haven't quite dyed in an awkward enough way for them to no longer be usable as socks, if you know what I mean. But the colors weren't super duper fast on this. So this is like super duper bright and happy and crazy, and like even in this game you see it. And whenever I look at the socks I'm like, so it was my first experience with Blue Moon Fiber Arts, and I've concluded I have tons of other yarn that I really like, so I don't need to. But it's a weird weight. It's sport weight. And really, I don't have a lot of sport weight. So the fact that I found something to use, because it was the case where it was like a pretty big skein. So to have a project that I can actually use it on and use it up on is sort of exciting. So, I don't know. Just not a fan. But it is making a very lovely fabric, and it's gorgeous, and it feels great. So this will be perfect for the little headband, because it wasn't like I really wanted to make socks out of it again. So, yay! So that should be super cute, and super mindless, because it isn't like I've given this a whole lot of love, and it's moving along. But I did want to start other things, too, but this one will be easy. Winter is coming. Even in Kentucky. It doesn't seem like winter is coming, though. I definitely drove back tonight with the top down, so not quite to Texas. I think it's supposed to be 80 this week. Oh, yes. There might also be like 60s or something like that, or high of 60s next week, so it's not like it's totally insane, but this week's definitely getting up to 80, so winter is not quite here. It doesn't seem like it's quite. We're still sort of waiting on fall. Winter is coming, but fall almost. So I'll put that down. Let's see. I have not worked on the socks. I have not worked on the shawl, but I did have some stash positions. So this is the Nest Fiber Club in the Callisti colorway, and it is very, very similar to the Shoshone that I recently spun up. So I'm wondering if I want to spin this a third way and then use the Chautauqua, the Shoshone, and the Callisti to make one project out of. Because, what it be? Because they all would totally go. But I'm not quite sure what my third way of spinning a 3-ply would end up being in order to create this. So it's pull work. And maybe there's a bit more orange in this guy than I'm giving credit for. But it's whatever. Jen of Nest has a color sensibility that is fairly, whatever, self-consistent, if that makes any sense. So, beautiful, beautiful colors. I know that they look very cool together. So you got the burgundy, the orange, the yellow, the bright teal, and then where the yellow and the teal collide is a little bit green, but not too much. So, not quite sure what I want to do. Definitely feeling like a really lovely, luscious prep. So, I already did the Navajo ply, and I've already done the fractal. So I'm trying to think about what other color things I could do with it for variety's sake, so that everything is distinctive and coordinating but not matching. You know what I mean? And this is, whatever, a different blend as well. So, I shall have to ponder on it, but I've shown you guys now, so. Yay! So, what is it? The shipments tend to come about the second week of the month, so I will, here we go. So, here are my 2 finished skeins, and here's this one, and I think that we could combine somehow and make something really cool. I do believe. We'll just sort of set that there. So, hoorah! So, I'm excited. This might end up going on the wheel, or it might end up getting put into my bin for next year, or all of my club colorways so far will probably end up in my bin. So, I didn't start anything on the wheel, though I probably will soon, whenever I have an opportunity, which seems to be taking a while. But I did put a decent burn on the Pigeon Earth Studios spindle spin, so I figured things get done when you work on them, so I was going to make sure to try to get some good progress on this by focusing on it for a week. So I took this out in all sorts of situations. I was getting a little worried it was stiff. So all sorts of situations. And I think when I chatted with you guys last, we were a smidge above an ounce spun, so let's see how I'm doing. At this juncture, and perhaps it's a demoralizing amount, and we shall continue on. Okay, so we'll just pull this off. Alright, my turtle is at 2.349 ounces, so that's promising. So that's like 1.8, so I think I managed to do 0.8 ounces this week then. And then the remaining fiber is at 2.4. So if we include the weight of the spindle and the weight of the spin, then I'm halfway, but that's a lie. So, okay. So focusing on this for a week in which I was working was worth, what was it? So that was worth 0.8 ounces. And there wasn't really much podcast watching, unfortunately, this past week, but such is life. So, making progress. It's certainly was respectable progress, because I think I was about an ounce, so 0.8 ounces isn't too bad. But that means I would need to have 3 more weeks like that in order to finish. Which I probably can't dedicate that much time to it. So probably what's going to end up happening is, or what is it? I know what's going to be happening is I will be bringing this with me when I travel. So I think that's going to be what gets me through all of it. Because there will be, when I am doing traveling for Thanksgiving and when I'm doing traveling for Christmas, and I think it'll go. But that wasn't too bad. So we'll see. What is it? So it's not this weekend, but next week that'll be Thanksgiving. So that'll be a decent amount of project time. And I got my huge project off the needles, so it was positive. In terms of what's next, I'm probably going to do this one. So this is the Into the World, so this is merino bamboo silk. So in the Prance colorway. So I think this one will be fun and different. And we'll go from there. Because it'll probably be the case where I'm probably gonna, at this point, everything is fairly luxurious except for the Malabrigo. So, and the Malabrigo is merino, I believe. Yeah. So, it should work out. So it'd be the case where I have my pulver silk, my superwash, or my merino superwash merino silk, and my merino bamboo silk. So start plowing away at those. I'm guessing I might just do it as a long gradient. I'm thinking I have plans for gradient shawls, and since I took my 8-ounce gradient and turned that into a massive shawl, it would make sense. And this one's like super duper square. It was well contained in the package. Oh no! Oh no! That didn't look like anything. You inappropriately socked. You're gonna have to come further back to sock. There you go. That's much better socking. Are you going to say hi?
I was not planning to say hello. No.
Well, now you just said hello.
Okay,
it's too
well, I
late
guess
now.
I've said hello. I guess you'll just have to trim it all out.
Oh no, you're staying in, including your sock attack.
Are you podcasting at the moment?
I am.
Okay, it's going to be a terribly boring 5-minute long conversation that you might want to consider trimming out, or not, or a sock attack. Or maybe you could leave in just the sock attack.
Sock attack was pretty amusing. So, I'm going to be done very soon though.
I figured as much.
Can it wait?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how long it was going to take.
Okay.
And accordingly, and see if you're just
All
watching
right.
people online or whatever else.
Okay. Love you. But I'm so glad that it has a podcast name now. Give me Sock Attack. Oh well, we have had a cameo from the Dear Sweet Lovable one. But Fiverr, this will be really cute. What is it? There's a shawl pattern called Radiance that I would really like to do. And now that I feel better about the wearability of circular shawls, this is looking positive. So, I will probably bring my wheel back downstairs and get all of those pieces together. So, it shouldn't be too crazy. And I'm very excited about this spin now that I've taken the fiber out and I'm playing with it. So, this should be good. So, yay. But, what would it be? Sorry about recording late. Hopefully you'll forgive me. I know you guys don't really care. I figured there was way too much to not have a podcast this week, so put it together, call it good. It's like 11, there's no drink, it is full of craziness, but there you have it. So I should be able to record next week, and it might even actually be on the weekend. I put high odds on the 19th, but whatever, we'll see. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.